if your whole component is that somebody must love you in your relationship, you're doomed.
When you don't use the stages properly, then you don't understand that you already had your chance to let something go.
And I think a lot of people have been led to believe that's what dating's for.
Not because of your kids we are going to stay.
There are times where love becomes a choice. The more you choose, the better it gets.
Facts. Do you know what I'm saying? If your marriage is up and down and you can't stick to it, you probably got the dating part.
If your partner, if you're a massive fan of Stranger Things, and your partner who would otherwise be a fantastic wife, don't like Stranger Things, are you getting rid of them? If you do, you're stupid. We don't care about how you feel. Hello and welcome to the Family Podcast with your two favorite brothers. My name is Sammy.
My name is Don.
And this is the home for the ultimate family guys, where we give you tips and tools to thrive in your long-term relationships and to help yourself along the damn way. This is the family table, and today we are talking about love in episode 144. But not so much love, but the absence of love after the love has gone.
Hey, do you know what? You sound like one of those enthusiastic teachers, isn't it?
It's true, man. I love those teachers, man. They're the reason I'm the man I am today.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Everyone who was dry, I didn't do well in their subject.
I understand.
Mr. Edgar.
Oh, wow, boy. Just bow out there.
Yeah, it's all love. I was never going to do geography anyway. It's all good. So basically, a question was posted on social media, innit? Is it admirable for a man to stay with his wife or girlfriend to keep the family together or the relationship together, even though he is no longer in love with her? And I thought, let's get into that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted you to take more of the dating side of things. And I'll take if you're married and if there's children.
All right, cool.
I think it'll be better to do that, innit?
Yeah, cool.
So, for me, Now let's start with you.
The reason this was happening.
The reason I'll start with you is because obviously you date and then you get married, innit?
Okay.
So let's do it.
So I think in terms of dating, I don't really feel like you're under obligation so much as if you're married, innit? I understand that heartbreak is cruel, innit? But it's the game, baby. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's no sworn commitment. Yeah, I'm about marriage. For me, is a demonstration to the world and to God, innit? That this is your person, innit? When I say I want to date you, that's just me saying that I want to date you, innit? It's better in the dating stage to lock something off that you think potentially won't work, innit? And I think that's what the problem is. People aren't using stages anymore. So some people think that they can date for a long time. Some people, never get married. Each to their own, whatever. But when you don't use the stages properly, then you don't understand that you already had your chance to let something go. That's my personal opinion, isn't it? So in the dating stage, that's when you should be picking and choosing. That's when you should let your partner know what it is that you're kind of expecting. That's when your partner you should have a conversation to say, yeah, I'm the type, I'm not leaving. We're going to make something work, innit? Now, we've seen how that worked for Jada and Will. And it's despicable, innit? Yeah, so, there are instances where that doesn't work. We see them in life, innit? But I think if you take the opportunity at that stage to say, this is what I want, this is the kind of person who I am, then there's more understanding and consensus as you move forward, because the next phase is a phase that you can't get out of, innit? So it's like when you choose what paper you're going to do. Like back in school, they used to be like, are you going to do the maths higher paper or you're going to do the foundation? If you do the foundation, you can get a C in it, but it's capped. If you do the intermediate, you can go on to get a B and an A in it, You can't choose, the foundation paper and then be pissed. Be like, miss, how come I never got a B? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you chose the foundation paper. You went past dating to marriage. And so for me, wild things, nah. You can leave in there. Even if there's kids, that there's people who have kids who want to date. You shouldn't deny them the opportunity to date. That would be stupid, But the person can leave you. Not because of your kids we are going to stay. Let me just tell you that, innit? So,
Hey, that's wild, bro.
but it's the truth. Like,
No,
what do you
it's the
mean? Like,
truth.
yeah, like you can't use your the same way. Yeah, I hate it when people use children as a defense as they split. The same way kids should not be used as a defense to like guilt trip someone into being in a long-term relationship with you. Straight up.
Yeah. Now, let me just clarify, innit? Because there's always some person, I wanted to call them a mongrel, innit? But I won't do that. I will respect you. Because I'm a respectful person.
It's all right. They already know that you think they're a mongrel. You already explained it.
So, but that have everything explained to them. So when I'm not talking about somebody who's come from an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about somebody who's dealing with a lot of toxicity in their relationship. I'm talking about one day a man wakes up and decides, I don't think I love her anymore. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
So the advice I'm
I've actually
giving
met
is-
someone like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
He woke up, he was like, they got kids. He's like, I don't think I love you anymore. His wife was like, I don't think I love you anymore. He's like, I don't think I love you either. They're like, all right, let's split different ways. Bow, done. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? I feel if I remember correctly, I said, yeah. If I remember correctly, I think it was after 5-6 years of marriage still.
You see me, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to bite my tongue, innit? Because if I bite it, it's coming off.
Do
Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
speak your piece.
okay, so for
You're
me,
the marriage guy.
yeah, so for me, look, relationship is not Disney, innit? If your foundation, and somebody said this, yeah, one of our listeners, shout out to you.
Amen. Not joking.
If your whole component is that somebody must love you in your relationship, you're doomed.
Yeah, true.
You're doomed. It's such a dumb, kiddie way to navigate a relationship. Because sometimes your partner is gonna piss you off. Sometimes you're gonna actually have to look inside of yourself and maybe even go as far as counseling to get something back. But you made that commitment.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm big on commitment, especially marriage, yeah? And this is why people gonna get on they're gonna get on me, innit? But let me say this because I think it's true. Right? I don't necessarily believe you have to be religious in order to understand what I'm saying, but it does come from religious text, innit?
Okay, cool.
So when you get married, yeah, there's a reason that what you're asked is what you're asked.
Yeah, facts.
Me, I know a lot of these modern people like, I want to write my own vows. They get to the state and then it's like, I love you so much. My heart is going to burst open wide. And you just complete me so much. And like, yeah, that's cool, innit?
But
I'm glad you feel that way. Right? But that's different from, do you agree for better or for worse? That's an obligation.
Yeah.
That is a responsibility. That's not how you feel. We don't care about how you feel once you enter a committed relationship. That's my personal, that's why I advocate for long-term relationships.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think it's sweet. You know? They think it's like honey, but when the honey run out, that doesn't mean that the marriage runs out.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that your commitment runs out. And I'm a bit like you. You have a courting stage to figure out whether this is somebody you want to put the ring on. Oh, but Sam, circumstances change. No. You're supposed to roll with the punches. You see, when you get up there, better for worse. Like, what do you think marriage is?
Yeah.
A shiny ring and some day where everyone claps at you and you get to eat cake.
Yeah, people love it, innit?
That's not what a marriage is.
Yeah.
Do you feel what I'm saying? So, especially for you as a man, I'm not even going to speak on women, innit? Because women, they got different circuitry up here, makes it difficult for me to comment on. Yeah? But as a man, you don't get to wake up and say, I don't love my wife, so, especially if you got kids.
I can't lie. If we're speaking to men, like, that's facts. That's facts. If you didn't put it down in the courting stage that this is what you want. Do you know what? Funnily enough, I won't say too much in it.
Say it.
This is new, fresh.
Okay.
No,
okay.
all right, cool. So basically, I was at an event yesterday, innit? And then like I was speaking to one of the aunties in it, and she was like, make sure the short of it, innit? She was like, make sure that when you're in the stage that you're in, or when you're talking to someone, or when whatever you're doing, innit, you make the person know what you expect of them, innit? Because if you don't make the person know what you expect of them, later down the line, you're not going to be able to change that. You know, so you have to set the precedent, innit? Like a child, innit? You know, like when you have a child, your child grows with you. You know, mummy and daddy don't like. Daddy gets angry when you go into the room when he's sleeping. Do you know what I'm saying? Daddy always rubs my stomach when I have a stomach ache. Daddy puts me to bed and reads, you know, a book. Mummy does this. Mummy was cooking today. I asked mummy for spaghetti and she gave it to me. I asked dad for spaghetti and he said no. These are the things that happen throughout life, yeah? When you get a partner, you're doing exactly the same process. Yes, they're not a baby, but they've been through life experiences that you don't even understand yet. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't know what that person's been through. So as a man, yeah, it's your duty to get all of that out. Remember also as a man, whatever that person's mother or father never did for them, they're going to expect from you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, remember that females as well watch this stuff from an early age. You know, they've been told that they're princesses and queens and I'm not here to say that that's not true or that is true, innit? But what I'm saying is they have a certain ideology of the way that things are supposed to play out. Let
me just add.
Yeah.
I'll let you get back to this. I'll hold the thought, yeah. I don't call my daughter a princess. Like other people can, but I think a princess is one of the most spoiled things you can call a kid. You know? And so I don't. People think it's pretty, but remember what you're saying. Like what the seeds that you sow in a kid. You know, all of these women been called princess their whole life, innit?
There you go.
And yeah, they're not. You know, they're entitled, spoiled kids. Sorry. And some of them and them as well.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so I'm not even in this thing where I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, go. Like, if you have to prove yourself, you can be unworthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, in your life, you can be unworthy. And somebody's allowed to see you and say, you're unworthy to me.
Yeah, facts. But everybody gets hurt, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
Because they've been called princesses.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is my prince, this is my king. Of what?
Wild.
Of what?
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I just think with me, yeah, I just always think to myself that you journey with a person, innit? And that journey is not always gonna be nice, innit? Like sometimes the roof's leaking. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the hot water that says hot water is not hot water. Sometimes the hot water don't even turn on, innit?
Yeah.
And you lot got to figure it out. You got to get the buckets together. Sometimes the bed didn't arrive on time, but this is your yard. Do you get what I'm saying? That you lot brought together. Sleep on the floor, get a sleeping bag, like. They're all, you know, you're going to get the smart people like, oh, why didn't you just book into a hotel? No, because you got to go through hardship. This is what your problem is. Do you know what I'm saying? You want the hotel, you want the big marriage, you want the thing, but like later down the line when it gets hard, you don't want to stay committed. But you chose that person. You went through courting stage, did 2 years, 3 years, holidays, And then you come to the end of the road, yeah. Not even the end of because it's not the end of the road. You come to hardship and you're like, yeah, not really for me.
But it's you know what? I think it's a societal thing as well, just to come off topic slightly, because it's almost like people have such an adversity to problems and hardship. It's like you see somebody and somebody in their family dies. Like it's an inevitability. And I'm not trying to minimize it. It's disgracefully hard to try and get through the death of a loved one. But you see some people, they don't get back on the boat.
Yeah.
It knocks them for six. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they can't process, and this is part of it's part of the same bit that when it gets to your marriage, it's not quite what you thought it was. You're like, well, let's leave, innit? Like, oh, what's that thing that you file for? Irreconcilable differences. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know what that means. There's no difference. And I'm putting myself out on the line here because I don't know what's going to happen in my marriage. Yeah. But there's no irreconcilable differences the only irreconcilable difference is an affair. That is the only time or you find out that your partner's doing some heinous stuff in it. Like,
of course, yeah.
That's the only time I feel like you can call time on your commitment, in it.
Yeah.
Because they've broken vows. They've broken like the sanctity of it. Yeah. So for me, that would be the only reason. Like, and again, if there's
murderers or
abuse or anything like that,
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
We're demonetized now. Thanks.
Just bleep it out, innit?
yeah, it's true. But you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
It's only those issues. Otherwise, suck out buttercup.
Yeah, know? Bro. Like I feel exactly the same way, innit? I just think y'all are weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling it today. But you know, The Jamaicans say it often, innit? You pick till you pick shit, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I did actually say that.
yeah,
I've never heard that.
You ain't never heard that saying?
Confirmed by Leon still. Yeah,
bro,
it's bad.
I got Jamaican residents, you know.
Yeah, I've never heard it though.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright, that's sick though. That needs to go on a shirt or something. Let me ask you a question, yeah? And maybe it's better to ask someone like Aaron, innit? But do you think that you can provide stability for your family if you up and leave?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, I think that it's harder.
Yeah.
It's a bigger commitment, but I think it's possible, you know. And again, I believe it's about that journey, especially if you're with another person. It's about that journey that you're having with the other person, like when you left. So you may have another missus, but you got to say, like, these are my children. Do you know what I'm saying? I come with children. I have a responsibility to my children. I have to take them out. They have to come here. You have to see them. You have to be courteous to my baby mum. Do you know what I'm saying? These are the boundaries of what we do over here. And some women will be like, talking to me, what? That's not your woman. Do you know what I'm saying? That's never going to get any better for you. She hasn't accepted you for who you are and the circumstances that you have. What are you going to do to change that? What, money? You think money and looks is going to change that? It's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the art of conversation is something that is lost in it. I'm talking about true conversation, innit?
About hard subjects.
About hard subjects. Now, let's not get it twisted, innit? So many people say that they can do what they're going to do and they never do it, innit? Well, then don't be an idiot. See the person's face. Do you know what I'm saying? You ask them, oh yeah, pull up at this time. They never pulled up at that time. You ask them to come to your mum's thing. They said they'll be there on time. They didn't turn up. You told them to, could they just get milk in it as part of the groceries? And they turned up with 1,000 excuses about why they can get milk. How many more excuses do you need before you put 2 and 2 together to realize it's not going anywhere, innit? So that's just my 2 piece, innit? Like, open your eyes, look, stay true to who you are, and have a conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, with the person. Take time. Marriage is long, bro. I would rather spend, and this is where females are going to get at me, but I really don't care, because you're probably the ones who are probably making this noise probably would never marry me. Do you get what I'm saying? But if it's going to take 2-3 years for you to figure shit out, like, figure it out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I was going to save this for IG Live, innit? But I might as well just say it here.
Yeah.
Dating is a recon mission. Yeah, as in an observational tool for you to map out your surroundings.
Yeah.
It's not a way that you get from point A, which is hello, to point B, which is in the bedroom. That's not what dating's for.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have been led to believe that's what dating's for. Dating is for sleeping with people. It's not.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why people are not having the right conversations, because they're talking about, like, what's your favorite show on Netflix?
Yeah.
What? Does that matter?
Yeah.
If your partner, if you're a massive fan of Stranger Things, and your partner, who would otherwise be a fantastic wife, don't like Stranger Things, are you getting rid of her? If you do, you're stupid.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Yeah, so don't do that. If she doesn't want children, however, you want children, well, that's a question man needs to be asking. You know, and so when you're on your recon mission, don't get, and what do they call them things? NPCs or something? I can't remember what they're called. They're like little things that scramble thing,
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. If you know what it is, throw it in the comments. Like, one of those, that's what sex is.
Yeah.
It ruins the whole...
it ruins the vibe.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you...
Man said it scrambles the signal.
Because now sometimes the stuff that you're analysing, you're letting slide, which is what you were saying.
Yeah.
Where somebody is inconsistent in their character and you let it slide because, bro,
you're
when she arches, innit?
Yeah. Oh, the other way around.
Yeah. When she arches, fam.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
it's a different story.
To the mandem, which one's my thing? To the mandem, innit? Listen, we've all been there. You know what I'm saying? We're giving you proper wisdom and learning. We've all been there. But it doesn't build sustainable futures.
And that's what we're about. Like, this podcast and its new direction is all about longevity in your relationship. And so I know that people might have thought like, right, what the hell happened to Sam? He's so jovial. But there needs to be work done, you know, and sometimes you have to not sometimes, you have to honor your commitment, bro.
Yeah.
You have to honor your commitment and
good sex game could be part of your 80%. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that could be a thing, innit? Like, for some people. And also, we have this thing in society, like, we can't, without sounding so crude, innit? But we can't teach an old dog new tricks, innit? Like, we have that perception, innit? But the amount of people who haven't been millionaires and with their partner develop millions. The amount of people who will say, yeah, I can't lie. You know the girls to their girls, innit? His sex game is dry, innit? Then like, they're like, oh, so how's Martin? And they're like, oh my days. Girl, let me tell you. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, like 10 months down the line, innit? Like, he just needed to understand something about you.
coaching.
Maybe he's been smashing it out of the park for other women, but he just doesn't do it for you. Do you get what I'm saying? And maybe you have a conversation and then like it's blown out the park. But I know so many people who'd be like, yeah, nah, if my man can't throw it down in the bedroom, like he's not my man. And you're just like, you're a child, man. Yeah, you're a child. If you teach him and he still don't know, then you should, in the dating stage, hey.
You got to figure out whether that's a game changer. Because for some women, it's not.
Yeah, some people don't care. Yeah.
So, I'm not just here to shout at you, man, innit? Yeah, so here's some tips if the lover's gone as a man, yeah? Go out on a date. Not the movies, yeah?
Bro.
A place where you can see her face. Like a gorgeous, delicioso face, innit?
I said delicioso.
Yeah. So, a place where you can see her face and have a conversation. Go on a dinner. If you have children and you can get childcare, go away for a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, spend time together. A lot of the times where we feel disconnected from our partners, it's a intimacy issue. You get into a habit of, okay, wake up, brush your teeth, get in the shower, kids breakfast, boom, kids up, right, put the baby to bed. Okay, done that. Now the other one, let's sort that out. If you got more than 2 kids, then it's even more hectic. You need to have school runs, shopping. Everything has to become regimented now. That you two, as a couple, you're running a corporation now. You know, when you have to get back to realizing that you two are not the most important part, but your relationship is the glue that is going to hold your family together. I saw this thing on Instagram. And it was like, it's cheaper to pay for a child sitter or a childminder than it is for a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, trust.
Right? So take the time to get to know each other back, you know, intimately. Have conversations, talk. Not just sex in it, but talk. Sex as well, of course. But not just it. You know, like, discover your partner all over again. Ask her, like, how's it been since pregnancy? How's this happened? How's this? I'm talking as a married man, but obviously have your own conversations. Yeah. You know, so that's really important.
And obviously, you know, people know that I had my accident in it, but even things like that, you find that people reconnect because they can't do the stuff that they used to do. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that every time you feel like your marriage is going through a crazy patch in it, you should jump off a wall and break a leg, you know, see if it works in it. But
love me again.
But what you should be doing, you know, you should be acting like that. You know, you should be taking out the element of sex, taking out the elements where people think that this is what is desirable, and seeing, can you lot just vibe?
They're emotional crutches.
Yeah.
Like when you don't really know how to get on with somebody, like, sex is always the go-to.
Yeah. Or nice fancy things, innit? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that would be my thing.
Yeah. The second would be spend a week writing down all of the good memories you have with your partner. Because a lot of the time we're ungrateful. They do one thing in that moment and we forget all of the things that they've done for us throughout our lives. Especially if you've had a relationship like mine, innit? Yeah. Which has spanned almost 13 years. Bro, sometimes you need to sit down and realize what that woman's done for you. Yeah, facts. You feel what I'm saying? And then you're in a position to understand that you actually don't have no right to say you don't love this person.
Trust me.
You know what I mean? Come on now.
Speak to me.
And then if you have the extra money, obviously it's always a good idea to speak to somebody who's a professional therapist. I know times are hard out here if you don't have it. I know people are expecting me to plug a sponsor, but I'm not going to do that. You know, but go out there and find a reputable psychiatrist to help you understand. It might be a single one first for yourself to figure out, unpack your problems or your issues, and then you bring your partner into. I think I've been going to therapy. It's really helped me with my thoughts and really helped me reconnect with you. And I think it would be beneficial if we both do it together, you know. And it's always more of a sweet spot when a man initiates like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he really cares, you know. And then when you sit against a psychiatrist, who's usually a woman, innit? It's like, I'm bringing this to the table because I'm vulnerable enough to, you know. And they're like, oh,
yeah.
Oh,
still, man, don't let no gal take you for eating. But I hear what Sam's saying. Yeah,
balance, innit?
Yeah,
balance,
you have to balance it.
And that's what I don't like, innit? Like, I think you can have both elements as a man.
You can.
Yeah. You know, this idea that you always have to be hard-faced and ridiculous, like, that's for young boys.
Nobody likes that, bro. Like, trust me. Do you know how many man them I know who are trying to get out of that? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? That cycle of like trying to be gangster all the time, and like, it's so draining, isn't it? And it has an effect on your mental health. Like, just saying, like, putting it out there, you become anxious. You think that you can't have fun, but most of the people like that, when they were kids, they actually had fun.
They had lots of fun.
Yeah, they had lots of fun. Like, you see their things, they're smiling. Do you know what I'm saying? Their parents were good to them. Life's
brutal though, innit?
Yeah,
and sometimes you get into a bit of a funk, but
we yourself out that one.
Yeah, we understand, man. And if you have any more tips, drop them in the comments for people. This is a community where you want to help each other, so let's do that if we have the knowledge and the skills. Some of our listener comments, because this obviously was on the Instagram at the Family Podcast, of course.
Make sure you follow, like and subscribe and do all of that stuff. You can follow us on YouTube as well, but we'll get to that. Let's go.
So somebody said, there are times where love becomes a choice. The more you choose, the better it gets.
I agree with that.
I like that, man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's like a conscious decision.
Facts, bro. Like loyalty is a conscious decision. Like, whether you like it or not, that commitment, that's why it's called a commitment. Yeah. Is you commit. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. And it's even more of that because you could not commit.
Yeah.
That's what makes a commitment a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you can abandon it anytime. But because you don't, you get props, especially here.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what it's like? It's like a loyalty card, isn't it? Bonus card, isn't it? Longer you're with the person, the more perks you get.
Yeah. Somebody put, one should leave. This can cause resentment and make people so angry. And that is a fair point, right? I always say it. This is not Disney. Sometimes you can try and try and try, but the relationship is it flatlined. And I'm not happy about it. Yeah, because I think you should honor your commitment, especially in marriage, innit? But no, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there. You should honor your commitment in marriage.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
dating's another thing. Get dating right.
Yep.
You won't have to do this stuff in marriage.
It's the working out, innit? The mathematics working out.
Show your workings.
Yeah, if your working out is wrong, your things. You know, the teachers used to be like, "Oh, your working out looks good." Nah, if you got the wrong answer, the working out was wrong. Like, facts. Do you know what I'm saying? If your marriage is up and down and you can't stick to it, you probably got the dating part wrong. I'm just saying, innit?
Yeah.
So you need to do some work within yourself.
Yeah. So dating for sure. If you don't love that person, exit. But marriage. If you put a ring on it, listen, I'm not trying to hear divorces in it. We don't like divorces over here. And I know it's necessary for some people, but we don't like divorces over here.
Love is temporary, innit? Like, you know, so you do your lovey-dovey stuff.
But it's not, you know, because it's a different type of love. Like, there's
like
a different, it's different love. Like, the kind of lusty feeling, you get when you're in a new relationship and you want to jump all over your partner. You just want to touch them and hold them and all the rest of it and do other adult things, you know. That's a love, innit? But there's a love for seeing your partner give birth to your children. There's a love for your partner when she brings you hot soup, innit?
Yeah,
there's even a love where she's like, I actually don't like what you're doing. You're full of shit.
Yeah, that's very true. She's just calling you out.
Yeah, and she's calling you out because she knows that you can do better than what you're doing.
Yeah,
and a lot of men can't actually take that.
Listen, every man needs a woman like that. And the guys who never take that from their women, yeah, is because they got a G who's a female who G checks them. Trust me, like, bro, on God. We did not swear by heaven or earth. You know, but yeah, you find that, innit, that when guys have friends who are female, they're more likely to take the advice that female friend gives them, innit? Even if their wife gave them that advice, they probably just shrug their shoulders still.
It's time, innit? Yeah. Like, if you've known your G 10 years, you've known your wife 3 years. You know what I mean? She's got
also, you don't have a commitment to them. So them telling, and they don't have a commitment to you, innit? You're just friends, innit? So if I tell you the hardcore truth, you got two options. You can move along, or you can take my truth, innit? But I didn't have to tell you that, and you don't have to receive it, innit? So I'm telling you that for a reason. Like, if you believe that I don't want to hurt you as a friend, innit, then you think, okay, well, why would somebody tell me this? Okay, because they want me to be better, innit? Yeah. But I feel like sometimes when you're in relationships, you may feel that like someone's got an ulterior motive in it. So they want to get one, like your wife wants to get one up on you because, you know, you lot been arguing before and it seemed like your point was more pertinent in it. So, yeah.
And then the last listener comment was, well, the last one that I'm going to read is, falling out of love is a myth. It's just a new phase and you have to be committed to keep loving. And I think that's rounded up what
we were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, look, I think every man needs to ask themselves whether they're committed in their relationship, innit? And that commitment isn't just for the great times. Like, that commitment is for the hardship. When you don't know, like, look at how you go to work. As a man, you take pride in it because even though you don't want to do it, sometimes you go to provide for yourself, to provide for your family, innit? Why can't you do that with your wife?
Yeah,
you know, and a lot of men like to be so, I'm so logical, innit? Like, I'm this and that, and then it's like, well, once I love you, I can't. Well, you can't logically assess the benefit of this woman over your feelings.
Yeah, which there's lots of. The benefits in just being human. Do you know what I'm saying? Like human contact, like people looking after you, supporting you. Like, there's benefits in that. If you're telling me you cannot find one benefit in your wife, as I said,
especially if she squeezed out your big head kids.
Yeah, wild.
You should never be able to turn your back on her.
Straight up.
You know? And I know it's going to listen, I know the comments are going to be brazy. But
I don't care, bro. Some of you need to grow up and learn. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I'm surprised your parents didn't teach you this, clapping you around the head. And, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, not everybody has, biological parents, and not everybody has good parents. But
we're not talking about those people.
Yeah. We're not talking about those people in it still. Like, or we're talking about those people who wish to change, innit? Like, I'm not talking to anybody who has a defense in it. Like, just don't click on the family. It says the family podcast, like, bro, like, don't be stupid in it. Don't click here and then tell me about, I don't know, misogynists and people who don't want to be in committed relationships, innit? Like, why did you click here?
Yeah, no, it's facts. Because like you say, this is a commitment. This is a community for people who want to thrive in their long-term relationships. If you're here to, bust on chins and do all the wiggity wild stuff in it that people do in it.
Now we're demonetized.
But you know what I'm saying? If you want to do all of that stuff, go on, do it, innit? Yeah, but you're going to get triggered listening to two people who value long-term relationships and who think that is an incredible gift that people have.
Facts.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next week we will be talking about how to thrive in long-distance relationships. Oh, my.
Wow.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in for that. As always, if you're listening on an audio platform, please share with a friend, because look at this gold, man. You're sitting on all this gold, innit? to how you are going to sort out your relationships. Smoke. Hey, listen, man. And obviously, if you know somebody who could benefit, don't just send it to anyone. We don't want anyone here. Like, send it to people who actually could benefit from it. And if you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe and like button. You know how we do. So my name is Sammy.
My name is Don.
And we've been the family.
Bow.